Chapter 27, Birthday Parties. What is private, intimate, and restricted to relatives and friends? A birthday party. When you're engaged to be the Master of Ceremonies for such an occasion, you may be tempted to underprepare, but that would be a mistake. Take a party as seriously as you would a conference. Remember, you're there to do an excellent job. Here's what to do so you do not mess up. Before the day, have a meeting with the organizers. That could mean a telephone conversation, WhatsApp or email exchanges, or a face-to-face encounter. Ask lots of questions like the following. 1. How many guests have been invited? 2. What kind of entertainment has been planned? Band, DJ, comedian? 3. Is there a dress code? All white, fancy dress? 4. How long is the event expected to last? Answers to these and other questions will give you a flavor of what is being planned. Go on to ask for a draft program of the event. You may encounter some resistance from the organizer who may be wondering why you need a program when the party is just a small event with friends and family turning up to eat, drink, and make merry. Respond by telling the organizer that the program will not be printed out for guests, but will serve as a guide for you to keep the event running on time. If there's no program, offer to draw one up. A simple template you can use is as follows. Arrival of guests, opening prayer, purpose of gathering, optional speeches, band, dinner time, dancing time, cut the cake, pop champagne, proposed toast, dancing till the last guest leaves. The section titled Optional Speeches is reserved for relatives or family members who would like to say a few congratulatory words to the birthday celebrant. Make sure you have a brief profile of the person who will be talking so you can tell your audience what connection they have with the celebrant. Did they go to school together? Business partners? Family friends? On the day, get to the venue at least an hour ahead of time. Let the organizers know you've arrived early. That will be one less thing for them to worry about. Introduce yourself to all the service providers, caterer, ushers, waiters, DJ, band. It's advisable to be on friendly terms with the DJ. Why? For starters, you need him in order to test your microphone because you'll be using his public address system. In addition, you need him to lower the music whenever you turn on your microphone. And on top of all that, it's just easier to work with people when you have a cordial relationship with them. Get a little background information from the band so you can hype the musicians when you have to introduce their act. Review your program. Alert the person saying the prayer to get ready, get the green light from the organizer, and you're good to go. During the event, after the opening prayer, you step in to deliver the purpose of gathering. This is where you set the tone for the celebration. You tell the audience why they've been invited, and you give them a sense of what to expect. If you sound energized and excited, your enthusiasm will rub off on the guests, and your party will get off to a great start. You are responsible for the mood of the audience and how the event flows. If they're bored and the event lacks structure, you failed in your job. From the moment you introduce the next segment after your introduction right through to the end, you are responsible for managing the mood and the flow. It requires that you think a few steps ahead and you pay attention to details. For example, if there are any optional speeches, you should inform the speakers in advance of the amount of time they have to speak. Make sure they stick to it. A few don'ts you should keep in mind. Don't announce the time for dinner without checking whether the caterer is ready with the food. You may cause a problem with hungry people lined up at an empty buffet table and a stressed out caterer cursing you under her breath for rushing her. Don't announce the time to cut the cake without checking to make sure the knife is available. Don't pop the champagne without ensuring that your guests have glasses from which they can drink to the health of the celebrant. Overlook these obvious things and the mood and flow of your party could be affected. Should you have a vote of thanks at a party? Let me suggest a one-word answer. No. I've attended birthday parties which ended abruptly after the music was stopped for someone to deliver a vote of thanks. Remember what I have been saying about mood and flow? If the organizer insists on a vote of thanks, insist that the person celebrating their birthday should be the one to do that job. Preferably, the celebrant should do it right after responding to the toast and then encouraging everyone to continue having a good time. The DJ then puts on a hot track which should get the dancers onto the floor, and the party goes on till the last person leaves. Job done.